2021. And isn't that such a blessing to just be here today? What a blessing. We are Sisters of Leisure, and we just are so grateful to be here. We are living every day, living and seeking and understanding real events. And we're just so happy to have crossed over from 2020 to 2021. And I am Tracey.
And I am Michele, the little sister. And today we have LaToya Holmes.
Wait, I gotta cut you off, sis, because you already know. When we have our sponsors, we gotta introduce them first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, what is you doing? Anyway, today I just love to thank MJ Nails. She is on Instagram. She does my nails. Aren't they just adorable? They're cute, natural looking nails. I have my long nails on at times, but sometimes I need them a little natural because I do a lot of typing. So MJ Nails on Instagram. She is in Atlanta, Georgia, and she is absolutely amazing. And also Chosen Bath and Body. We have wonderful merch here, and I know everyone loves a good hoodie. And you got your yin yang, cute merchandise. She is 21 and she is doing an absolute amazing job learning her craft and putting out some awesome merch. So we just want to thank MJ Nails. She's on Instagram, and also Chosen Bath and Body. Get your merch today and get your nails did.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, thank you. So I'm sure MJ Nails and Chosen Bath and Body appreciate that. But this is LaToya Holmes, and LaToya is going to talk to us today. She's going to tell her story. I'm excited. We have questions, so I don't want to ruin it and talk ahead. But go ahead, LaToya. Tell us your story and why we're going to talk about strength and perseverance. But go ahead, tell your story to everyone.
Okay, so my name is LaToya. Thanks, Michele and Tracey, for having me on to talk about breast cancer. So let's see, probably about seven years ago, I was at a grocery store and I was standing in line and I picked up a magazine to read, and on the magazine was, in the article was about Angelina Jolie and this other actress, and she was talking, Salma Hayek, and she was talking bad about Angelina Jolie because she had gotten a double mastectomy because she has cancer in her family. And she was like, I'm trying to be preventative. So she went and got it done. And Salma Hayek was like bashing her about it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna check myself to see, to make sure I'm good. Now, I don't have any family history of breast cancer, nothing like that. But something was just prompting me to go home and check myself. So when I went home, I checked myself and I found a lump. So my daughter was in the other room. She was 16 at the time. I called her in to tell her that I found a lump, and we kind of laughed about it. I was like, I got cancer. And she was like, yeah, right. And I was like, yeah, right. And we just kind of passed it off and left it alone. But I have an aunt, and she's not my biological aunt, but she's like my aunt. And I called Auntie Shell, that's her name, and I said, I found this lump, and I was describing it to her, and she was like, you need to go to the doctor to get that checked out and find out what it is. And I'm like, okay. So I think the next morning I woke up and I noticed like this discharge, and I didn't know what it was from. Like it was on my bed, and I was like, what is that? And I called Auntie Shell again to tell her, and she was like, okay, I really need you to make an appointment.
I have a question for you though, real quick. So I mean, you look young. And so I remember when, we grew up together, sort of, kind of. Yeah. And so how old are you?
What? No.
Oh.
A woman never tells her age.
I know. But I want to ask because it's important.
That's fine.
Okay.
30s, 40s, 30s.
No, I'm 44. I was
what?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I was 37 when I found out.
Okay, so you're young. That's very young.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to get that out the way.
No, it's fine. I'm 44.
You look absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Thank
Yes. You
you.
look really good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so I made the doctor appointment. You know, you go to the doctor, then they refer you to another doctor, and you got to get all these tests done. And the first test was kind of like inconclusive, so I had to go back and get tested, get a chunk like taken out, like a sample taken out.
Yeah.
And when I went back there, the lady was looking at the film, and I was like, what's going, I said, what do you see? Because she was so jovial when she was talking to me in the beginning, but then I felt the shift in
Yeah.
her mood. So I asked her, what did she see? And she was like, well, I really can't, I'm not the one. I said, just tell me the truth. Like, be honest. What do you see? And so she was like, it looks like cancer, so I'm like, okay. I was okay because I didn't hear from the doctor. I heard it from her. I was just like, okay. So on July 3rd, I was at work, and I was leaving where I was, and my doctor called me, and she confirmed that it was cancer. It was breast cancer. So, I'm driving, and I had to pull over, and I'm just like, I didn't know if I should cry, I just was kind of, you're just stunned because.
Yeah.
So I called one of my girlfriends, and she didn't answer, but she called me back, and she left me this really powerful message that I kept for a long time. I used to listen to it every year, just encouraging me and telling me that we're going to get through this, and you're going to be okay. But in the meantime, in my mind, I was making plans for my daughter, who's going to take care of her like I do, what's going to happen next, like how much time do I have? I'm like at the end. I'm not even thinking about anything going,
not recovery. Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I cried all the way home, and I really don't even remember what happened from after that phone call, like all the way home. I just remember being home, and I don't even really remember what happened between that time. But once home, I called like a couple people who were close to me and told them what was going on. My daughter, of course, she found out, Auntie Shell. And I remember Auntie Shell said to me that night, I called my cousins too in Maryland. But that night, my aunt said, she asked me if I was willing, and if I was ready to fight.
Yeah.
And I told her I didn't know. I didn't know.
It's a really a tough decision at that time, because like you say, you were shocked. You were just like, what is going on? When you get the doctor saying this, you're just like, okay, what do I do? I mean, what do I do next, Lord? Because I really have I'm a loss of words,
And
so,
that's exactly
I understand.
where I was. Yes. Because I'm like, I wasn't at a point where I was angry with the Lord. It was kind of, for me, I was Auntie Shell, she's a breast cancer survivor herself. So over the years, I've heard her talk about it and watched what she has went through. And so it was almost like I was already preparing for something that was coming without knowing that it was coming, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, to back up a little bit with that, I was living in South Carolina, maybe 6 months before I had got the diagnosis, and I had decided to move back to Cleveland. So it just shows like the plan that was happening, what God was setting up, how he was putting me back where I was going to be around people who could help me and take care
help you.
Right. So,
and he does that. I'm sorry to cut you off, Latoya, but God does that. He will send you signs, like for you to even just look at that magazine, all that little drama with the lady talking about the other lady, but
right.
But then it prompted you to say, hey, let me check my breast.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So God will do what he do. And it is what it is. But it's a blessing that he prompted you to do that.
Yeah.
You know, to check your breast that day.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I could have just read the article and been like, oh, Hollywood, you know. Like, but I don't know. That, like you said, I don't have any, it always makes me emotional just to know like how good he is. So
absolutely.
You know. So Auntie Shaw asked me that question. The next day my cousins from Maryland showed up in Cleveland when I was living in Cleveland, and Auntie Shaw, they all were at the house. And that morning I went running because I was preparing for a half marathon, my first half marathon. I was preparing for it. I had finally made it up to 13.1 miles. I was out there doing my thing, and I'm like, I'm still gonna run this marathon. I don't care whatever they tell me. I'm still running this thing. I know
that's right.
So when I was running it, one of the songs that came on, iPods. Remember those iPods?
Yeah.
Was "Strong Enough" by Matthew West. And in that moment, it was like everything just kind of was like click, 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 and I'm like, I am strong enough. Like I am gonna fight. I am gonna fight. I do want to fight. I'm gonna fight. And I made it in that moment, like I'm going to fight for my life.
Yeah.
So
I know. I'm sorry.
I know, right?
So you go to the doctor. You got to see like 30,000 doctors. All these to tell you what you need to do, what you should do, or stop eating this, start eating this, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, of course.
And my doctor that officially told me about the cancer and what it was going to look like and what was going to happen. I brought my daughter, my aunt, and my mother to my appointment. And so I was fine all the way till I got in the room, and the doctor's like, yeah, so you got to have a mastectomy, because by now I had read everything. Don't ever read anything on the internet when you're going.
You got now you the doctor. You know everything.
Doctor. I'm about to tell her what surgery she's gonna do on me, and she's like, no, ma'am, this is what this is. So she I ended up having to have a mastectomy because the tumor was attached to my nipple. So I lost like all it, like I had to get the mass out. And so, one of the things that Auntie Shaw told me is when you go in to hear this, take a recorder or whatever, because they're going to say a lot of stuff and you can't hear it because you're trying to process everything that's going on. So I didn't bring a recorder, but my daughter stepped up and was asking the doctor. She had a list of questions she was running off, asking the doctor. She was, what happens to my mom? What happens next after this, what, just, she was so mature at 16 in that moment. Yeah. Just very thankful because it's, it's just her and I. So very, very thankful for that. And you go home and I wasn't able to run the race because they scheduled the surgery like 2 weeks before the race.
Oh man.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. And I was like, can we do it after? She was like, no, we're gonna do it now. And I'm like, all right. So but very very blessed with the doctors I had. The doctor I had was an avid runner herself, so she understood and trying to make sure I heal up right and as fast as possible to get back out there. And every doctor they connected me with was the doctor I should have been connected to. And after I went through all of that and had the surgery and you got to recover. And my daughter was like, I know how I'll be treated as a senior if I'm unable to take care of myself. Oh. I know that my baby's gonna take care of me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So she had.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to do chemo or anything? They just decided to just take everything out, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so it ended up being stage 0. So I didn't have to do any chemo or radiation. And that's one of the things, it might sound so vain, but I was like, Lord, please don't let me have to do any of that stuff. Like I was just really, I just didn't want to do it. And I didn't have to do any of that. I didn't have to do any chemo or radiation. One of my doctors that I was connected to that would have put me on medication, she's like, you know what? You don't really need to take this medication. If you take it, there's a chance that you could develop ovarian cancer. And I was like, I don't want to take it. And she was like, yeah, you don't have to take it. Just think about it. If you really want to take it, you can take it. And so I decided not to. And I'm thankful for that because, most times doctors are shoving medicine down your throat.
Oh,
and she was like, yeah, no, you don't need to take that. I just was very blessed through this, experience. So.
And you know why you're so blessed? It's because you're sharing your story with other people that have experienced the same thing you have, and it's so important to other people to know that you can push through, you can make it, and that is a blessing. God uses us in so many different ways. And you have a powerful testimony, like for real. You know what I mean? Absolutely amazing.
So you had the removal. So were you able to, how does that go? How does this look for you now? Are you, can you get a reconstructive surgery or anything like that? Or do you just kind of?
What happens? So you have the surgery, then the other doctor, I can't even think of all their titles, but while one is removing, the other doctor comes in who's going to do the surgery. So the cool, don't laugh, but one of the things that before you go through the procedure, you meet with the doctor who's going to do the breast reconstruction. And her and her team, they're talking to me. They're like, what size do you want to be? I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, what size do you want to be? And I was like, for what? I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. And she's like, your breasts, what size? And I was like, I want to be the same size. I don't want to go through this. Like, I'm having this whole emotional breakdown. And she was like, but you can be any size you want to be. What size do you want to be? Right?
You can be like one of those people who don't have to wear a bra. Like,
right.
Girl, calm down.
I want to be a double, triple D. I mean,
Right. Like any size, right? Yeah. So I only had a mastectomy. I did not have a double mastectomy because that's another thing the doctor said I didn't need to do that because it was kind of like a fluke because I don't have a history of it and I was healthy and I wasn't. It just was something that happened. So she's sitting there asking me, what size, and she's like, well, you get to have the breast reconstruction and kind of like a tummy tuck thing because we have to take the fat in your stomach and put it up in the breast to make it look full. I was like, wow, like. So one of my daughter's friends is like, your mom, what she say? Something like, oh, your mom's going to be out here, or whatever she said.
Especially with that tummy tuck, honey. If I could get me one of them, I'm just saying.
That's not funny, y'all. For real, right? Come on.
I did. I had friends like, can they take fat for me? Like, what? So
I mean, that is not good. But but see, and that is, and it is healthy to laugh. And I am so it's a good thing to know that you are stronger. And like Tracey said, you're helping other women get through. And so, like, what were your, like, I know, did you have moments where you had doubt, or were you just totally like, you know what? No, I know this is all going to work out. Once you said that you were ready to fight, when you said that you were ready to fight this fight, did the doubt still sneak in, or how did that go for you?
I don't know if I had a moment to doubt, I guess. I kind of made up in my, when I tell you, I know it sounds so strange, but just talking to Auntie Shell all the years and everything that she had went through and how it was going, I felt like I had lived it a little bit already.
Mm-hmm.
So as sad and depressed and as disappointed as I was, my daughter, my cousins, my friends, my aunt, like everybody who rallied behind me with it didn't give me the moment to feel low like I probably could have felt.
Yeah.
Especially I suffered from survivor's remorse for a little bit because I would go to my appointments and see the women sitting there with the stuff in their arms to have the IV, to have the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chemo.
And yeah, to have the chemo, and they didn't have hair, and they were like, I was seeing all this, and I'm walking in, and I felt so guilty for that was my issue, just the overwhelming guilt for being okay and being able to still do the things that I would normally do. Like I was shameful that I was ashamed of the way my body looked while other people were going through way worse than what I went through. And that was my struggle for a while with this whole situation.
Yeah.
So, but see, God's timing is different for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you know, he just had you in the palm of his hand. He was just really keeping you, you know what I mean? And it was absolutely, it was for a reason. You don't really know why at the time. Right. But like you said, you had great people, wonderful people rallying in your corner. And you, I mean, when you have that, you really don't have time to think about anything so bad. You know, it's just like they're keeping you uplifted. There's positive energy around you. And that all of that is such a blessing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It was.
Now, what does your shirt say?
My shirt says strong enough.
Okay.
So
I love it.
The story behind this is when my daughter, you know, they have all type of stuff for you to go to when you're going through it. But your children, like if you want to send your children something, it costs, or so in my and when you said purpose, like that was like, so this is my purpose. Like having to go through this was my purpose, to educate, to talk to other women about it, to get the calls from people when they find out somebody has breast cancer, they call me and talk to me about it. So, but the strong enough came because I was looking at my daughter walking through this, and although she's being strong for me, I know she had some conversations with Auntie Shell, and she was in the beginning, she was a little bit of a handful, but that's because she was dealing with her own emotions with the situation. She possibly could lose her mom. Yeah. So, and they didn't really have any services like that at home for her to be able to go to. And I just started thinking about all the other children who are at home witnessing their loved ones go through breast cancer, whatever cancer, and they don't have the outlet, and they're acting up and they're having troubles and they're trying to be strong. And that strong enough came based on that, like having some type of outlet for these children to go to where they can do art and poetry, or learn how to cook, or learn how to invest and do finance, like something for them, you know. Yeah. And that was the whole idea of this, of strong enough for the kids. Not
Do you have a website that people can contact you, or?
Yeah, so Strong Enough has been on pause for like a year, but I do have my Instagram page for that, and my Facebook page for it, and it's just strong on Instagram. It's strong enough _ WMMK, and WMMK stands for What Matters Most Kids. So it's strong enough _ WMMK. Okay. And then Facebook is just strong enough.
Okay, you said What Matters?
Nope, strong enough _ WMMK.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What does WMMK stand for again?
What Matters Most Kids.
That makes a lot of sense. You know, and sometimes we lose that. Sometimes we lose that these are little humans who are looking for us for guidance in how to handle things. And so, you know, I used to work with children. I always said that, you know, I'll learn from you guys every day because they're showing me how to be resilient, how to, you know, do a lot of things. So they're stronger than what we normally think, but they also are looking for us for guidance on how to be strong and the steps to take to overcome and be resilient. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing. You're gonna have to go ahead and get that back going now.
I know. I just, you know, you ever just need to do some mental health for yourself?
Hey, we understand. But I know God is gonna put the right people in your path to, you know, that is a very, very lucrative business or whatever you want to call a mentorship or for people. I mean, because like you say, kids, sometimes they get put on the back burner.
Yes.
A lot of times, you know, because, oh, be quiet, sit down somewhere. You know, I've said that plenty of times, but you know, we really they need as much help as we do when we're going through.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, something like that. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it popping off in 2021.
That's what your daughter's friend meant. Your mom about to be out there. Like, you know, she that's funny. That's real cute.
Yeah, that's probably what that meant. Like she gonna have this going on, that not no boyfriends and stuff like that. We ain't talking about that. We talk about she gonna have a nonprofit business to help these young kids.
That's what that meant. That's what that meant.
So in seeing our climate today, you know, and someone is dealing with a diagnosis of anything, you know, what would you just, you know, let them know?
Oh boy, I would say the one thing that I learned from this whole thing and what I would say to everybody is you go through, when you're going through this, it's really having the faith, because you can have the friends, you can have the support, but there are a lot of people who will fall off because they're not ready to walk with you through this, and they don't know how, and you can't be mad. And that's one of the things I do shows, like, you can't be mad at them. They're just not ready to take that walk with you.
Yes.
And it's important to just know that, like, I can't sit here and promise that you're going to be okay, but you're going to be okay if you want to be okay. And you're going to be able to walk through this and just really have the faith and trust in him. And like, that's where all my strength lies. It does not lie on anything else but him.
Yes.
So he's the only one that got me through that. Like, and I don't know how to say that. Yes. I don't know how many times I can say that.
Yeah. And God is so amazing. I mean, if you don't have him in 2021, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not judging. No, I ain't judging you at all, but
right.
To get with the Lord.
The way things are looking, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
He gonna hold you up, and he gonna, you know, he's right there. I mean, what you doing? You know, so we appreciate you so much, Latoya.
Thank you.
We're super excited about Latoya's nonprofit business. If you want to get in contact with any kind of way, she does have an Instagram or Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram, you want to go to strong enough _ WMMK to locate Latoya home. She has a great testimony. She's an inspiration to us all. We're so happy to have you here in 2021 because we made it, and you can still do your marathon. You know, they're gonna have another one coming up. Right. You know, you just have to wear your mask. Just wear your mask. That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? But, you know, you're gonna still be able to do that. And we just thank God for your daughter just being such an amazing support system, and your Auntie Shell. We appreciate your mom, everybody that has just rallied around you during that time. You're looking great. We love you so much. And we just so glad that you were honored to want to come on our show. We're happy to have you here. We're absolutely amazed by you. in so many ways. So I'm just going to close right now and just tell everybody, thank you. We love you. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Catch up because we'll be back. Okay. We love y'all. Thank you so much.